Welcome back, Computer App students. We are going to do a quick review video on our personal and company financial statements. This would be mostly the terminology idea or some simple math, and the math isn't super complicated. It's a lot of adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, but understanding the terms and getting things put together in the right side is probably the most important part. So we'll start out with the personal financial statements, and those two are a budget compared to a net worth statement. Your budget is going to be your paycheck coming in, and it's going to be your money going out. And the biggest part about a budget is it's the plan. Now, you may say, well, I've already heard something like that, Mr. Clem, when you started talking about your check register, right? Your check register is what actually happened after the fact, right? Paychecks coming in, loans, interest, transfer from savings, compared to paying yourself first, rent or a mortgage, groceries, running your vehicle, your loans, your household or utilities, things like that, right? These are the after the fact, what actually happened with all my money. But before you go live the month, we're looking for what's your plan? Where do you see your money coming in? Hopefully, mostly paychecks or potentially a loan if you're looking for a big purchase. And where do you see your money going out? Creating it either on a monthly plan or an every, twice a month, bi-weekly kind of plan. But where do you see your money coming in, going out? Versus the actual living of the month and seeing your actual money in, money out. That's more your check register. Now you compare those two things to a net worth statement. This is comparing all the things that you own or all the things that you have of value compared to how much do you still owe on those things. Mr. Clem has a house and the house is worth $150,000. I still owe $100,000 on the mortgage, right? Not the $1,000 mortgage payment. Even after I make that $1,000 mortgage payment, how much do I still owe on that debt? I own a car. The car is worth $12,000. Well, look at that amortization schedule, right? It lists out all of my payments and it says how much do I still owe on that debt. Right? I own a $12,000 vehicle. I still owe $11,000 on the car loan. So if we look at examples and we work through some of these, here's my budget. Here's an example of my budget. Let's zoom it up a little bit. Here's my plan. Here's what I think I have coming in income. Here's where I think my money's going out. And for the most part, they're pretty round, even numbers. It's not mortgage $1,196.47. We're ballparking the numbers, right? We got about $1,200 going out there. We think it's going to be about $200 to feed ourselves, right? That's not the actual receipts from the marketplace or Walmart or Cub or whatever. It is kind of ballpark numbers. And again, you want to leave a little bit of fudge factor because these bills may change a little bit. And then again, here's the second half of the month. Here's my money coming in, or at least where I think it's coming in. And here's where I think my money's going out. And again, a little bit of fudge factor because, some of these bills may change. Versus my net worth statement, which is I own a home. Here's what the price would be. If I sold it, I would get this much for it. How much do I still owe on that home? Here's the value of some vehicles and how much I still owe in loans, right? Are there other things I own, like a boat or a four-wheeler or a skid loader? And there are personal items in there as well. Versus the other kind of debts, which are usually my student loan and my credit card. If my total assets are bigger than my total debts, I have a positive net worth, meaning if Mr. Clem was to pass on and there wasn't anybody else in line to get my stuff, sell all my stuff, pay off all my debts, what's left to the beneficiary? Those are our personal financial statements. We compare that with company financial statements, which are very similar, but it's looking at it from a business point of view. So we look at our budget, again, money coming in, money going out, look at it from a company's point of view, compare my sales and my expenses, right? Money coming in for me doing whatever it is I do, and me spending money to run my company. So budget and income statement are looking at similar ideas, just one from a personal view, one from a company view. My net worth statement, again, things that I own of value compared to my total debts, compared to something called a balance sheet, which again would be the things I own, or we'll trade out the term and call it assets, to how much do I have in total debts, we'll call liabilities, and what's left for the owner. So income statement, this is a company financial statement. It's talking about your revenue or your sales compared to your cost of running your business, and you either made money or didn't make money. Compared to a balance sheet, which is things you have of value or assets, compared to your liabilities or who you owe money to and what's left for the owner. We look at some examples of that. Again, income statement. Here's my restaurant, and I'm looking at sales coming in from food service, the bar, and then catering, and here are all costs of running my business. And I either made money, okay, more coming in than going out, or I lost money, more going out than I have coming in. As compared to a balance sheet, which would be all the things that company would own. Electronics, building, land, equipment, uniform, inventory, as compared to my total debts. Right? So I can still have a positive net worth or an owner's equity amount, even though on a monthly basis, I don't necessarily make a profit. The owner's going to kick in more money to get the business up and running, knowing that they may take a couple of months of losing money, right? Less in revenue than we got going out and spending for a couple, 3-4 months, maybe 6 months till the business gets up and running. And then in theory, you got more coming in than going out. Right? So budget compared to net worth statement on the personal side, income statement compared to a balance sheet on the company side. So quick review of our personal along with company financial statements.